All right, traders, beautiful people, welcome in. Much love, fam. Trav here, different sort of video. This is for my own diary and maybe it helps you. But I'm in this gonna talk about profitable trading habits versus unprofitable trading habits and how I need to change. So a little vulnerability in a share. I've been trading for about 1 year now. And the first 6 months, I was consistently unprofitable. My win rate was like between 30 and 40%, and my risk reward was like 1.1. So you can see how that's unprofitable. And I traded a lot, I lost a lot of money, didn't blow up, drew down, okay. Now, I have a second chapter, which was lasted about 4 months. 4 months of consistent profitability. Win rate also in the 30%, but a risk reward 4.5. So quite good stats. And I had changed my habits in the way that I trade. And then I have a third era, which has been the last 2 months. Consistently unprofitable. Like a 20% win rate, 1.4 RR, horrible stats. Probably worse than the first 6 months. So I've been so confused by how could it have gone so wrong, what went wrong. And by the way, I'm not blowing up because of my risk management. I never risk more than 1%. Typically, I don't risk even 1%. But I have drawn down and given back a lot of what I made in my 4 profitable months and 2 losing months. Why? Yeah, it was confusing to me. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out what happened. Like, why am I losing? I added all this knowledge, and specifically, I added so much knowledge and information. I've studied so much. I should be more profitable, or at least profitable. Why am I losing money? And I keep searching for that new indicator, that new trend setting, but then. The answer is obvious now, and you guys probably will know just from listening to me, but maybe this can relate to you, is that if I was profitable and I added knowledge, it doesn't have anything to do with knowledge. It has to do with my habits. So I need to change my habits if I want to become profitable again, right? I cannot figure this out. I need to change. And change is a lot harder than figuring something out, because when you figure something out, you can just learn something and then you're good. Where with habits are hard to change. You can relate. You ever quit drinking coffee, quit smoking, quit alcohol, quit porn, started waking up early, exercising, whatever it is, change is hard. So I need to change, and it's hard. It's not something I can figure out. But I have these 3 eras, and I have associated habits with each of them. So I'll tell you habits that I have in the middle and why I think they're important, and compared to habits I have at the losing periods. So a profitable habit that I had was trading with only limit orders, and an unprofitable habit that I had is trading with market orders. And this was consistent in both of my losing periods, lots of market orders. In my profitable period, only limit orders. Why? So it's not necessarily, and that's a habit. Like that is habitual, of going in and physically buying at the market or selling at the market, or going in and physically setting a limit order. Why? So first, I know I have the data and I have the habit, so I know that this is a profitable habit versus an unprofitable habit. Why? I'm not saying this is profitable or unprofitable for you, but for me it is, and I have the data to back this up. I believe the reason why is market orders allow me to be more impulsive. They allow me to take unplanned trades. They allow me to take many losers in the same day or in a shorter period of time. They also encourage me to be more attentive at the charts, which causes more attention fatigue, stress, anxiety, and also prevents me from doing either stress reduction activities or educational activities. So if I only trade limit orders, I don't need to spend as much time at the charts, and I can't lose as much money, and I can, that's a lot of what it is the limit orders aren't necessarily getting me into more winners, but they're preventing me from taking more losers. So that's one of the habits. Now another habit that I had in my profitable periods and not in my unprofitable periods was trading with a wide stop loss. So when I was profitable for Bitcoin, for instance, typically trading with a 2% stop loss. The first era I didn't trade with a stop loss. I survived though. In the third era, I've traded typically with a stop loss of less than 1%, so higher RR. It hasn't really worked for me. Why? Well, one, the market's become more volatile again, so it just doesn't make sense, but I just get stopped out way too fast. So I take a couple losers, combine market entering with the tight stop loss, and you can just take a lot of losers really quick. Also, if you have a tight stop loss, you're expecting to re-enter, which again forces you to be more attentive at the chart. More attentive at the chart means more attention fatigue, more possibility for making mistakes. So habitually, as I physically enter into the position, setting a wider stop loss, setting a limit order, okay? A wider stop loss, it's not a super wide stop loss, but a wider stop loss would save a lot of, this is another thing where it doesn't increase my risk reward, it just reduces my losers and also reduces stress somewhat. Okay, what other profitable, unprofitable habits have I noticed? One of them is advancing stop loss. In my unprofitable period, would advance my stop loss aggressively. My profitable period, mostly just leave it alone. And this, the reason, and a side note of it is profitability is letting the trade run. Unprofitability is also cutting it short. So there's two ways to cut it short. One is by advancing the stop too early and too aggressively. Another one is by market closing as it's retracing back to my original position. Both of these, those are things I did in my unprofitable phase. In my profitable phase, mostly just set my stop and let it run. And this has to do with cutting my winners short. In my unprofitable phase, I haven't had that many winners. I haven't had that many big winners because my winners got cut short. And by just trusting my stop, not advancing it, that would allow me to my winners to run. Now another one, this is habitual, is the way I've been adding on positions hasn't worked in my profitable phase. I did add on, but I only added on with limit orders, and I typically added on a higher time frame. When I'm unprofitable, adding too aggressively, which increases my risk too much, which if I'm going to manage my risk, I need to advance my stop loss and then just get stopped out of something that could have been a winner. So I'm not going to stop adding on, but I'm going to make sure my add-ons make sense as their own trades. Also, during both unprofitable phases, I spent a lot of time on the low time frame, 5 minute, even staring at the 1 minute chart. And during my profitable phase, I mostly worked on the 1 hour and 1 day. The one exception I'm going to allow is I have a setup called inside ladder, which happens after a swing failure, shortly after, where entering on the 5 minute is good, and I want to continue doing that. But that's the exception, not the rule. So higher time frame, wider stops, limit orders. Yes. Now, what other profitable versus unprofitable habits? So this is going outside the charts a little bit, but during my profitable times, I spent, and this is counterintuitive, quite a bit less time on the charts in general, less time looking at the charts. And one of the ways I express this is by first thing in the morning, going and walking the dog, not going online. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was doing this. I'm actually not sure on this one. I know I've been spending more time and I've been checking. Yeah, I would say typically during my more profitable times, I wouldn't check first thing in the morning. Sometimes I would, but definitely during my unprofitable, like staying up late and getting up early, And this one is sort of counterintuitive, because you think you want to be able to be available to the market and see what's going on more often. And I think the reason why it's better to spend less time is to build, part of it is just building patience, part of it's building discipline, part of it's stress management. Like, I need to get to sleep to get good, so I can get good sleep and make good decisions. And just getting online and coming back in the most relaxed possible state seems like a much better way to trade from. So that's another thing to work on. So yeah, the main habits are going outside first thing in the morning. And when I'm trading on the daily chart and I'm limit ordering daily in 1 hour, there's generally no rush. The only thing is this inside ladder where I'm entering on the 5 minute, but typically I have a couple hours to enter, and it won't always make the difference. And I think just going by the stats of going online later, I should follow that. But yeah, have a set log off time, not log on first thing in the morning, limit order everything, market orders forbidden. Another one is smaller risk. For whatever reason, my stats are incredibly good risking 0.5% or less. My stats are incredibly bad risking 1% or more. I want to risk more. I want to risk 1% or more, but I need to listen to that and stick with a small risk for now. Small risk, wide stops, limit order, high time frame, not check all the time, time offline. Those are the habits that I need to change to go back to being profitable, I believe. And again, I have data that shows that when I was doing these things, I was profitable. When I wasn't doing these things, I wasn't. Now the last thing, and this isn't habitual, the thing I need to figure out, because I was missing information that I have now, and I think this is just awareness of trend following, where having some kind of a mechanical trend setting where that forbids me from shorting a rally or longing a dump, or at least limits it, is quite helpful. And that's something that I was missing, and specifically breakout and breakdown trades to go along with that on a higher time frame. That is something I figured out that I can add that can be helpful, but that alone is not nearly enough. What I need to do is fix just my psychology. There's probably psychology and emotions behind the habits, but I need to fix my habits, and I know what I need to do, and it feels good. It's not figured out because it needs to be done, but as someone who's quit alcohol, quit tobacco, quit smoking, can go months without masturbating or sex if needed. I'm a renunciate. I can wait. I don't eat processed food. I can fix my trading habits. So I'll try to fix them on paper trading and see where we go from there. So much love, appreciate you, and look forward to talking to you soon. Hope you find it helpful and useful. But again, this is just for my own diary of trying to not figure it out, but work my way out of some problem I created in my own life, where I tried something and it didn't work, and I should have stopped earlier before I gave so much money back to the market, but here we are. Anyways, much love, appreciate you, talk to you soon, peace.